Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging hour discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host
from 2 to 4, and a couple different ways you can listen to us on the radio, KDOW 1220 AM. You can also listen to us live online at kdow.biz. And most importantly, we're really excited about our new podcast program. Make sure you go on to the website, reradiolive.com, and download the podcast. That way you can listen to us no matter where you are. Not everyone could listen from 3 to 4. We realize that, although everybody should. But there are other things going on in people's lives. So the podcast program is great. Again, reradiolive.com. We're a live show. We love your calls and your questions, and I'll introduce my guest in just a few minutes. But the way to communicate with us, two different ways. One is the toll-free number, 1-800-516-1220, or you could text 408-838-9060. The focus is education and information. We work really hard to have great guests like I have today, good content information to help you, the consumers, make wise financial decisions in and around your real estate. So we'll continue to do that. With that, let me invite my guest in today. I want to welcome Mr. Drew Sanchez. He is the owner of DNL Movers. Drew, good to have you here today.
Thank you, Joe. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, it's good. This is a great topic, moving. I mean, we talk all the time about buying, selling, financing, building, decorating, landscaping, all the stuff that's around real estate, right? Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, we got to wait. Wait a minute now. When someone sells a house, they're going to need to move.
Everybody's moving. That's the beauty of being here in the Silicon Valley. People are always coming in, and they're always going out. The market's going up. The market's going down. But people always need to move.
Always need to move.
We're here to rescue.
And there is nothing like everything else, and we'll get into the details of hiring someone that's got a responsible, great reputation like your company. So let's get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you grew up, and how long you've been running and operating DNL now.
Sure. So my name is Drew Sanchez, and I'm the owner and operator of DNL Movers, based out of the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. I'm 33 years old, and I'm actually born and raised right here in 𝗘𝗀𝗡, California.
Hey.
Prior to starting this company, I actually have had so many great jobs. I worked with children and adults with disabilities. I've worked with at-risk youth, and I worked at Good Samaritan Hospital right here in 𝗥𝗲𝗓𝗏 for 7 years as well.
Good man.
So while I was working in 𝗥𝗲𝗓𝗏, I was working as a nurse's assistant going to school for respiratory therapy.
Okay.
And I ended up meeting my business partner, 𝗘𝗀𝘀𝗁𝗍𝗍𝗓.
Look at that.
And, yeah, we were actually working for another moving company, and they sent us to San Francisco to do a job together. And as we were driving in the truck, my business partner said, I was thinking about opening up my own company. And I said, you know what? So was I. The very next day, we went down to City Hall. We were basically complete strangers. Went down to City Hall, submitted our application, and DNL was born.
And what year was that?
That was 2012.
That's great. That's exciting. Congratulations.
Thank
I'll tell
you.
That entrepreneur spirit, I love it. That's what really drives the economy, the nation. I mean, there's a need for all different size companies, but it's nothing more exciting to me when someone has an idea and they start a business and get it going.
Absolutely.
So good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So then, started a couple of years ago. Tell us a little bit about, the launch and some of the, just some of the challenges maybe getting into the business, because I know sometimes it's not so easy at times. Right?
Sure. So originally when we launched, we didn't have much money in the pocket. So as far as marketing goes, we didn't have much financial backup for that. So we were using Facebook and Instagram and things like that to get the word out. And luckily I had a lot of followers, and a lot of them were real estate agents.
Nice.
So originally that's how it started. And, as we all know, referrals are the best way to spread word, especially with longevity.
Yep.
And so Facebook, and then people telling their friends. And then we started getting Yelp reviews. I would like for everybody to go to Yelp right now and do a search for DNL Movers, based out of Campbell, California. We have 5 stars all the way across the board, and you can read testimonials from local to long-distance move, commercial, residential. We have been very fortunate. We're very blessed to where we are right now, especially in such a short period of time.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we're going to launch today. The topic's going to be the 10 timeless tips and tricks for making your move easier. And for anybody that's moved before, tune in, listen to this, because all of us, I'm guessing, have had an experience, good and bad, with moving. I've had both, and there is nothing like the stress and moving, and usually the things that go along with it, relocating if you have children, those types of things.
Yeah.
And then again, the last thing you need is something else to worry about.
Absolutely.
And so if you don't hire someone competent like yourself in your company, there's all kinds of concerns and problems.
Definitely.
So let's go through this 10. Let's go through the 10. What would be, kind of the first one as we get started here?
Well, the first thing that you need to do, and I tell all of my, potential clients this, is you definitely need to call DNL Movers. That's tip number 1. I think it's the most important
Isn't
tip
that 1
I can
through 10?
give. Absolutely. Yes. But as far as moving goes, you definitely want to be prepared. The thing is, most moving companies, when you're moving locally, it all goes on an hourly basis. Oh. So you want to start packing a month to a month and a half in advance because packing is just so tedious. Yeah. All the breakables need to be wrapped individually because, if not during transport, accidents can happen if things aren't packed properly.
Right.
So definitely give yourself enough time to prep. That way when moving day comes, you're not scrambling around to get things, tied up last minute, and you don't have to have your moving company come in and do the work that you could have done, and you'll have to pay that extra amount.
Got it. So is that typically how it works? It's hourly. It's not like a project thing. Is that how it's billed?
So it depends. So if you're doing a local move, yes, 99.9% of the times it goes hourly, and it goes by the manpower. Now, if you're doing a long-distance move, according to the PUC, which is the licensing committee, you have to be offered a flat rate. Oh. And what a flat rate means is, if you're driving from the Bay Area to Los Angeles and you hit traffic, our clients should not have to pay for that traffic that they're sitting in.
I see.
So, for example, we get on MapQuest. I would type in the address where they're currently at to the address that they're going to. And if it says 8 hours, then we might put an additional hour on there just because, because the truck is full. We do have to stop at way stations. It is a decrease in speed. So, it is going to be a flat rate hourly. You should not be going per hour when you're doing such a long distance move.
Okay, very good. All right, so number 2 would be in our top 10, our 10 timeless tips. What would the second one be then?
I would definitely go with a moving company that, has a name. You can look us up on Yelp or any moving company. You want to look on Yelp. You want to look on Angie's List. You want to listen to your friends and family who have moved.
Okay.
So, you definitely want somebody who's a referral. It's always good because you want somebody who's had a great experience.
Yeah. And that Yelp, I'll tell you what, I hear that more and more often the last couple of years. It works.
Oh, absolutely.
I think most of us now, when we're not sure even about a restaurant or if we're in a new city, we use it all the time.
Definitely.
Think about that. Just the rating, and it's a darn good system.
Absolutely. So the way that Yelp works, it's actually very interesting. So right now I have, I believe, 82 reviews on Yelp, 5 stars all the way across the board. But I have 24 reviews that they've kind of set to the side where a normal viewer can't read them because they have certain criteria that you have to meet in order to make it onto Yelp. So I have 24 5 stars that are all legitimate. My business partner and I have based this company off of integrity. Yeah. So every single review from day one has been, of course, from a legitimate source. So I think that's another reason why we're so successful as well, because of the moral and value that's behind this company, is something that everybody looks for. I'm coming into your home, your prized possessions. You want people in there who have integrity and who have those morals and values that you can trust.
Isn't it? That means everything. Talk a little bit about that, though, Drew, because a lot of companies will preach this and talk about it and talk about their service and how they're so much better than everybody else and all that, but it really comes down to the action.
Absolutely.
Right? So when you deliver, so when you do get a customer, is that a culture that's built by you and your partner from the top, and then it comes down to your employees, and you train that, you hire that way? Tell us how you keep, the culture and the strategy for, because it's difficult when you start hiring employees.
Absolutely.
And you have to trust them, right?
Definitely.
And you hope that they see the vision, have the vision, and demonstrate the same really ethics, morals, and a lot of stuff that you deliver.
Definitely.
How do you keep that together?
So DNL Movers, our slogan is the red carpet treatment.
Okay.
And the red carpet treatment, that doesn't only stand for when we come to your house, we lay out red runners throughout your flooring so we protect it. So every single DNL event is a red carpet.
Nice.
event.
I like it.
But not only that, the red carpet treatment stands for, it stands for what myself and what my business partners stand for. So it's not only the work ethic that my guys come with, a very high work ethic,
right,
but it's the high-quality men that we hire. All of these men that work for my company, we've known them for a very long time, whether we grew up together, whether they worked for another company and we worked together, We only hire the best. And if you look at my Yelp reviews, it doesn't only say, oh, these guys worked very hard. The thing that I love to see is when a client says, these guys came in, they worked very hard, but not only that, their customer service was so amazing. They were so polite. Yeah. All of our guys say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Anything that they need done, we will get done there because we know that moving is stressful enough. Yeah. So when we leave the house, we want everything to be in place. We don't want to leave and then be like, oh, I wish the guys would have done this. We always do a final walkthrough. Yeah. So our guys are very respectful. And, my business partner, Leo, and myself instill that in them. Yeah. And not only that, they genuinely are those kind of guys. And that's what you want. You can't teach a 30-year-old man morals and values. It takes a little longer than DNL training.
You're absolutely right. And I was just talking to someone about this the other day. I wrote a book years ago about hiring, and I'll never forget it. The quote was, hire for attitude and train for skill. Mm-hmm. So if you hire the right person, you could almost train them to do anything, but they have to be the right person, which means a great attitude, coachable, teachable, all those things. It has nothing to do with experience, right? You could have a person on a resume that has 20 years of moving experience, but he could be a jerk.
Exactly. Definitely. And people with experience, some people, get some bad habits from other places.
That's right.
So it's nice to train somebody who just has a great work ethic. All you really need is a great work ethic, a positive attitude, because as we know, moving is very, it's physical labor.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely the blue-collar labor. So we want somebody that's out there that has a positive attitude, that's going to work hard, who can work those long days, and when you get off early, go ahead and enjoy your afternoon. But be ready for a long day.
Well, we have about a minute or so left in this first segment. This is a lot of good stuff. So what I'll do, I think we'll hold off because when I come back, I'm going to ask you a little bit about pricing, quoting, how that works, the potential, and the difference, too, maybe in some of the customer service and some stories, some examples I want to ask you about as well. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, much more. If you'd like to ask any questions of Drew about moving, maybe you're getting ready to move, a family member, friends, or neighbors, anything, timeless tips and tricks for making your move easier. This is, again, a huge undertaking when you move, whether it's a business or your residence, or it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a big deal. You're talking about personal items, private items, nothing worse than someone coming into your home, when you think about it, right? Like you said, it's very personal.
Absolutely.
Someone coming to your home, and then you're observing these people, and they're throwing stuff around or handling things like they don't care. That's got to be one of the things. I know you guys have a great reputation for really caring and dealing with it from a customer level. The standard is very high, but that's the biggest probably complaint that I hear in general of people. The mover's either rude or they come in, they don't really pay attention and take care of the walkways, the walls.
Absolutely.
I hear it banging walls, banging edges, doing all this, and then so just to care. And I guess it's difficult. We were talking in the last segment, Drew, about how you train your people, and isn't that where it starts and ends? Because if they go into a job, no matter what it is, in this case is moving, and they know that they care about these people.
Yep.
And how important these items are to people, they're going to take a whole different approach.
Absolutely.
When they go into that house.
A lot of my clients, when they call in, of course, they mention their horror stories. That's the first thing that comes into their mind, their last experience, which may have been good, but, sometimes they have a bad experience, whether it was with the pricing, whether it was with the gentlemen that were coming into their home being rude and disrespectful, whether they weren't treating their belongings with the care that they felt it deserved. Mm-hmm. And, that's where my business partner and myself and DNL Movers really shines. And I think that's why we have so many great reviews as well, is because we come in with the utmost respect in every aspect. Mm-hmm. So we hear that horror story. We don't even need to hear it because we hold ourselves to a higher expectation.
Right.
And our clients know that. And that's why not only when I treat, yourself with the respect, but then you're going to tell, your sister, your brother, your neighbor, and everyone, and that's why the word has spread so fast.
It's the way it's supposed to work.
Absolutely.
Right? It's the way it's supposed to work. If you have any questions for Drew, 1-800-516-1220, or you could text the question 408-838-9060. Let's talk about the types of services you offer, because again, someone might think a moving company, okay, well, they're just going to come in and I'm going to pack up my boxes. They're going to move them from location A to location B.
Sure.
But you offer a lot of services. Why don't you go through those for me?
So we're a full-service moving company. And what that means is we can come into your home, everyday living. You don't need to touch a thing. I have a full-time packing team run by an amazing woman named 𝗘𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗧. And what she's going to do is she's going to come in and she's going to do a walkthrough of your entire house. We're going to bring all of the materials that we need. We're going to bring the boxes. We're going to bring the shrink wrap. We're going to bring the bubble wrap. We're going to bring the paper, the tape, everything. You don't need to do anything. The girls are going to walk through your house. You're going to explain what you would like packed and what you don't want packed.
Okay.
And once that's done, ready, set, break, the girls go and they start packing. So we do packing. Once the packing is done, usually it's a 2-day process.
Okay.
So day 1, the girls will come. They'll bring all the supplies. They will get you completely packed. Day number 2, the guys show up, and they load everything into the truck, transport it to the new home, and unload. And if you would like unpacking services, we do offer that as well. So basically in 2 days, you can go from a fully functional home at your old home to your new house, and it's completely furnished and right back to normal.
That's great. So it sounds like it's custom too, which I love. So you can meet with a customer and they could say, yeah, I'd love to have you pack this stuff up for me and deliver it, but we'll unpack ourselves.
Yeah.
Or vice versa or whatever. So you guys customize whatever they need.
Yeah, and you know what else is great? If somebody wants their entire house packed, we can do that. But say a woman says, no, I just want the kitchen packed because there's so many fragile things. I have, you know, these crystals and things that I really want packed properly. Then we can come in and just send 2 women in to do that. And also, besides the packing and the moving, we also do specialty moving as well. So this means, you know, from a grand piano to an upright piano, pool tables, above-the-ground saunas and hot tubs. We do all of the above. Really? Yes. And we have pictures of us actually on our Yelp page, moving hot tubs, moving grand pianos, and we're all strong and we're all handsome.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right, we're going to have to take another break, and we're going to come back, continue talking to Drew Sanchez. We're talking about moving, why it's so important, really the tips and tricks for making the move more easier. If you have any questions, give us a call, 1-800-516-1220. Text 408-838-9060. 𝗘𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗧 with Real Estate Radio Live. We'll be back with you to continue in just a couple minutes. So for the entire hour, just a little extra time to go here. By Drew Sanchez. He's owner-operator of DNL Movers. The topic today is the timeless tips and tricks for making your move easier. That's right, easier, better customer care, better customer service. I will tell you that a lot of people talk about it. It doesn't matter what industry or what business you're in, but very few people deliver on what they say. Drew and his company does that. He not only is here to talk about it, but you can go on to Yelp and check it out and find out for sure. He's got a bunch of 5-star all 5-star ratings, right?
That's correct.
All. There's nothing less than 5
There's one 4-star.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. Maybe they accidentally missed the 5-star click.
If you have any questions for Drew, shoot us a text 408-838-9060, and we have just a couple segments left. If you have any questions left. So a couple things. I know we started last segment, we were talking about different pricing. Go over a little bit some of the pricing scenarios or differences in terms of what we started talking about last segment.
Sure. So as far as pricing goes, it really depends on the number of rooms in your house. And that's the way that we gauge it for our company. Other companies can do it another way. But for us, for example, a 1-bedroom apartment, we would send out 3 men. And for 3 men, it's $140 per hour. And that includes all 3 men, and it includes the truck and the equipment, as I said before. So that's $140 for a 1-bedroom. If it's a 2-bedroom apartment, townhouse, anything like that, then it would be 4 men at $180 per hour. So basically the way that it breaks down is it's $50 for the first 2 men, each man, and then $40 each man after that. So that's really how it breaks down.
So does it matter when you say, let's say you have a project, you send 4 men out. Does it matter if that's a ground level floor or someone that's 16 levels up?
Well, it matters because, it's going to take a little bit longer. And that's why maybe if it is a 2-bedroom apartment, say on the 6th floor, then it's definitely smart to have 4 men because I'm going to have 2 men on the top floor. They're going to be sending stuff into the elevator, putting it down, and then I'll have 2 men on the bottom floor unloading it and loading the truck. So it's definitely the most efficient way because, as we know, actually, I'd like to say something because a lot of people, they'll call me and say, oh, can you just send out 2 men? And it's really hard to do that because one man's always loading the truck. And as we know, big pieces of furniture like a couch, a table, a desk, things like that, it takes 2 men to carry. So if there's somebody loading the truck, that's only one man inside.
So there's really no job for less than 3, right? And
we always, even a studio, we send out 3 men.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense. So I know one of the biggest things, Drew, is timing for everybody's business. Give us an idea, if I'm a customer or a client getting ready to move, how much time do you like to have in advance of arranging something for when you're getting ready to move somebody?
So the way that we run our business, we have 2 jobs that start in the morning, between 7 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock, whatever you choose.
Okay.
So there's a morning slot and there's an afternoon slot. And, yeah, basically, if you want that early slot, everybody wants the morning slot because they want to get it done and they want to be able to enjoy their evening. They don't want to go into the night.
Right.
So if you want to have that morning slot, you definitely want to call at least a few weeks in advance. 2 weeks in advance is ideal. 1 week in advance, you have a decent chance of getting a morning slot. But, also a lot of people call last minute. Some people call the day before. And if we have our men available and the trucks aren't out, we'll send a crew out and we'll help you last minute. And that's no extra charge.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so if you have the manpower, you're going to do it.
Absolutely.
You're not going to charge someone extra just because they call it the last minute.
No, not at all. A lot of people call last minute.
Do they call last minute because things just happen, or that's probably all across the board? But
yeah.
Or something happening where, I mean, have you had a situation where someone dropped the ball? Maybe they had a contracted with another moving company and all of a sudden they couldn't deliver on their promises, or, oh, my God, my guys are sick and they can't deliver. Have you ever had anything like that happen?
We've had multiple people call that same morning and say, my movers were supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. They haven't showed up. We finally got in contact with them, and they said we were never on the schedule.
Oh,
so then they call us, and, yes, we definitely have had that situation happen, and we send our guys out and take great care of them.
Yeah. The other thing I'm thinking is we're talking, all this stuff has to come up, and I know you. So do you have a system in place? Let's say you're all scheduled to move the Johnsons, on the 15th of November. Do you guys check in advance, like call the 14th or 13th and say, hey, just want to make sure everything's on time or we're still going to meet? And
absolutely.
Is there some kind of system in place just in case something changes?
Yep. Myself or my business partner, Leo, we will call the day before every job, make sure that they're packed up and ready to go. And the benefit of that is, if I call the day before and they say, oh, we're not packed yet, can you send out packers? Then we send the packers out the day of the move. So then the guys are moving furniture, the girls are packing at the same time, and we get it all done. Okay. Compared to if I didn't call, sometimes we show up, and we've had this happen where we show up and they say they're packed and nothing's ready. Yeah. So a normal day could be, 6 to 8 hours. But if somebody's not packed, a 6 to 8 hour day can turn literally into a 16-hour day. And they're paying twice as much as they were quoted. And really, it doesn't come down to the mover. It really comes down to, unfortunately, the client who wasn't prepared.
Have you ever so what if someone says, I'm packing myself, show up tomorrow, and you show up and your guys look inside and the packing's not really the way the packing's supposed to be?
Then usually they make a call to Drew or Leo and they say, hey, bring us some boxes because we have to pack.
Because some people's idea of saving money with packing or just maybe they don't know, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So they're like throwing tape around something or packing something in, who knows what.
Definitely.
So if something like that happens, they call you guys and say, hey, what do we do?
Well, they'll call us and they'll say, hey, these people aren't ready. And it's up to the client. If they want us to pack, then myself or my business partner will bring all the packing materials that they need, and they'll get everything packed up and continue with the move. But then, some people don't want to pay that extra, so it leaves you in a spot where, the client has to make a choice. Do you want to move today? Because we can't take, these plates that are sitting on your kitchen table. Right. They have to be packed up properly.
And I just want to make sure, not to give it justice, too, so you guys move residential and commercial.
That is correct.
Okay. Yes. So we've been talking all about residential.
Yep, commercial
I want to
well.
make sure the people know out there that you do help people in the commercial arena so you can move that.
We sure do. Definitely.
Okay, very good. All right, we're going to take the last break. When we come back, we're going to finish up. If you have any last-minute questions for Drew, text 408-838-9060. That's 408-838-9060. We're talking about timeless tips and tricks on how to make your move easier. In studio for the entire hour by Drew Sanchez. He's the owner and operator of DNL Movers. The timeless tips and tricks is really what we've been going through. In other words, how do you know who to hire is the big question when you're thinking. I mean, the obvious one we talked about earlier is Yelp. That's a great resource to go on. You're going to find Drew and his company for sure. But even with Yelp, Drew, what are some of the things you might say? Let's say someone's looking and they're not as fortunate. Let's say they're not as fortunate to have used you before. So they're looking for the first time.
Sure.
They get someone on the phone. What types of things would they ask someone like you to kind of get an idea if it's someone they want to work with, other than, reviews possibly?
Well, a lot of times people ask experience, of course. You want to know how long someone's been around. It depends. Our company has been around for 4 years, but my business partner, Leo, and I have been doing this for 15 to 20 years. So we have a lot of experience.
Right.
And the benefit of our company, too, is, we've worked for other moving companies, so we've kind of taken bits and pieces to make us the best possible moving company that we can be. Mm-hmm. My business partner, Leo, he is very handy with the tool. And myself, I'm not that guy. I love doing the customer service. I love going out in the truck and working. But he's the guy, if there's something to be taken apart or something very complex like that, they're going to call Leo. You might not hear them call out Drew. Yeah. But, as far as answering the phone calls and going out and doing the estimates and coming out to real estate radio, I'm proud to be the one to come out here and do that.
Complementing strengths, right?
Absolutely. Definitely.
That's what it's all about. So in summary, just have a minute or so left here. Really, really important to find the right person, the right company to do this. I mean, any examples in terms of, actually, the other thing I want to ask you, I want to make sure people know, number one, you do commercial as well.
Yes, we do.
But how about area? That's what I wanted to ask you, geographic. I mean, is it all of California? Does it matter? I mean, is it customized? Is there an area that you work within? Talk a little bit about that.
So we're based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. Okay. So we literally daily do moves, whether it's from Gilroy to Santa Cruz to Livermore to San Francisco, all throughout the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. And we do long-distance moves going from the Bay Area to Los Angeles. So we wouldn't go down and do a move in Los Angeles to Los Angeles. Right. But we would do a long-distance move going from here to there. Okay. And also our out-of-state license as well. So we can go from here to Oregon. We wouldn't go cross-country, but we would do the surrounding states. Okay. That's where you would get your most bang for your buck. If you wanted to do a long-distance move, you would want to call a long-distance mover. It'll save you a lot of money. Okay. So there is a specialty in that. In other words, when someone's going from California to New York or Boston. Definitely.
That's a whole different...
absolutely. It's a totally different moving company. Absolutely.
So within California in general, but most of your business is here in the Bay Area.
That's correct.
Okay. And commercial and residential. What I want to do before we have to go is give people, again, another idea how to reach you. So if you give us your phone number, website... Absolutely. What other numbers?
You can call us on the office line. We're open 7 in the morning till 7 at night, 7 days a week. The best phone number to reach us is 408-800-6727. You can check out our website. That's www.dnlmovers.com. And you can also find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. We have a lot of followers on there. And you can see just a ton of pictures of what we do on an everyday basis.
And in 20 seconds, why would someone use your business other than any other?
Use our company because we are owner-operated. We are consistent. We have integrity. And we are the kind of movers that you want all across the board. It's all about consistency. And that's what we provide. I'm very proud to be the owner of this company. I'd like to thank my business partner, Leo Cervantes. I definitely would not be here without you. I would like to thank you guys, of course, at the radio station for allowing us to come out today. We're very thankful to be here. And, of course, my family, my loving mother, my father, my nephew, Joseph, my stepmom, my stepdad, who believed in us and helped us get our first truck.
Here we go.
And
I feel like I'm with the Oscars.
And all of my guys, if I can, real quick, Nico, Zach, Hayden, Bernie, Micah, Fred, Crystal, Amanda, Jen, the list goes on and on.
I love it. We'll be back with you.